Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I, Dr. Gopal B. Saraswat, welcome you all to my channel. Today the topic for discussion is reliability versus validity. Reliability and validity always been considered as a hand-to-hand during the course of preparing a questionnaire because sometimes the researcher get confused in reliability to validity because it seems like both are same but they are not. So let's start the video and find out the difference between reliability and validity. There are three criteria for a good measurement scale. Measurement scale, as we discussed in the previous video, there are four types of measurement scale: nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio. So what is the good criteria for selecting a measurement scale? And that is based upon three parameters: reliability, validity and sensitivity. Reliability indicates, or it is an indicator rather, for measuring the internal consistency. Internal consistency represents a measure of homogeneity. So generally we use coefficient alpha, or you can say Cronbach alpha, for measuring reliability of a questionnaire. On the other hand, validity measures the accuracy of, of a questionnaire, or the measure or the extent to which a score truthfully represent a concept. So how well your questionnaire or the responses you have collected using a questionnaire survey, how well these questions or from your questionnaire clearly truthfully represents the concept of that particular phenomena. And third is the sensitivity. A measurement instrument's ability to accurately measure variability in the stimuli or response. So variance in your response when it is measured, here we require to measure using sensitivity. So let's start with this: reliability, then validity and then sensitivity. Reliability is concerned with the consistency, accuracy and predictability of the scale. It refers to the extent to which a measurement process is free from random errors. Reliability is measured using Cronbach alpha, and when we calculate Cronbach alpha, the values lies between 0 to 1. So Cronbach alpha values lies minimum of 0 and maximum of 1. So if the calculated value of Cronbach alpha of your questionnaire, if it is 0, this indicates that there is no consistency between the various item or multiple scales. If the value of alpha is equal to 1, then there is complete consistency between various item of your multiple scale. So alpha is equal to 1 is showing the excellent reliability of your questionnaire. But on the contrary, alpha is equal to 0 indicates the very low reliability of your questionnaire. On the other hand, if the reliability ranges between 0.80 to 0.95, it implies that your reliability is good. The questionnaire reliability is good because it ranges between 0.8 to 0.95. If the calculated reliability lies between 0.70 to 0.80, this is also indicates a good reliability for multiple item scale. And finally, if reliability is less than 0.7, then we consider it is not suitable for circulating this questionnaire for the responses. So the thumb rule is, if your reliability is more than 0.7 or the calculated Cronbach alpha value is more than 0.7, the reliability is the good and you can use your questionnaire and you can rely upon the responses. On the contrary, if the reliability calculated value is less than 0.7, then you should not go with your questionnaire and you have to make certain changes again to the questionnaire. Validity. Validity, as we already talked about, this shows the consistency or how truthfully you are able to discuss or able to represent a particular concept. But there are different types of validity. The first is face validity. Face validity include a scale's content logically appears to reflect what was intended to be measured. For example, if you ask a question, how many children do you have? This is face validity and it clearly represents a concept. Next is the content validity, where a scale's content logically appears to reflect what was intended to be measured. For example, if an exam is supposed to cover chapter 1 to 5, it is fair for a student to expect that questions should come from all 5 chapters rather than just 1 or 2 chapters. Similarly, the criterion validity is the third type of validity. The ability of measure to correlate with other standard measure of similar construct or established criteria is known as criterion validity. Criterion validity is of two types, concurrent validity and predictive validity. For example, a home pregnancy test designed to have a concurrent validity to accurately determine if a person is pregnant at the time of the test. Fertility tests, on the other hand, are designed for predictive validity, which determines if a person can become pregnant in future. So this is the basic difference between concurrent validity and predictive validity. The fourth type of validity is convergent validity. It exists when a measure reliably measure truthfully represent a unique concept. Consists of several components include face validity, content validity, criterion validity, convergent validity and discriminant validity. So the mix of all when exists it is considered comes under the convergent validity. Whereas the discriminant validity on the other hand represent how unique or distinct is a measure. A scale should not correlate too highly with a measure of a different construct, and this is known as discriminant validity. Now, how the reliabilities differ from validity. Suppose an expert sharpshooter fires equal number of rounds with a century-old rifle and a modern rifle. Let's see on the picture. Here, as I mentioned, expert sharpshooter fires an equal number of rounds with a century-old rifle and a modern rifle. The shots from the older gun are considerably scattered, but those from the newer gun are closely clustered. You can see in the first and the second bullseye where on this target on the number 1 the shots are coming from an old rifle, whereas on the second target the shots are coming from a new rifle. In first target the shots seems to be scattered one, and it indicates that the old rifle is not reliable. On the other hand, the second target shots seems to be less scattered and they are seems to be reliable, but they are not valid because very few are on the bullseye. Rest of them are not on the bullseye, because therefore in the second picture the old rifle to new rifle, when you switched, the new rifle seems to be reliable but not valid. The variability of old rifle compared with that of new one indicate it is less reliable. The target on the right illustrates the concept of systematic bias influencing validity. The new rifle, because it has a little variance, but the sharpshooter, if vision is hampered, you can see in the third picture where its vision is hampered by a glare which comes from directly on his eye, because of which The shots are consistent, but they are not on the bullseye. So this means that they are reliable, but they are not valid. So it clearly indicates that if a particular measurement scale is reliable, it is not necessary that scale is also valid. So reliability and validity has to go hand in hand, and you have to consciously look for both in a particular questionnaire, and while constructing a questionnaire you must go for such kind of analysis, whether your questionnaire is reliable, whether your questionnaire is valid or not. If there is validity is missing, then you are not able to truthfully explain that particular concept. On the other hand, if the questionnaire is not reliable, you are not able to have a consistency in the responses. So reliability and validity both has to look for by the person while dealing with such kind of issue. So reliability and validity is clearly indicated in this particular slide, where we can see the reliable not valid case where all these target hit by the sharpshooter seems to be reliable because they are consistent, less variability, but they are not valid because they are not on bullseye. On the second picture, these are scattered one, therefore low reliable, and no one, no target got bullseye, so low validity, low reliability, low validity. In the third picture, all the shots are scattered, high variance, less reliable, therefore. On the same time, no shot hit the bullseye, so that is why that is not valid as well. And finally, this case, all shots are on the bullseye, therefore they are reliable and valid. Reliable because less variance between the shots, and valid because they are able to hit the bullseye. So this is how reliability and validity both are different. Next come is sensitivity. Sensitivity is a measurement instrument ability to accurately measure the variability of responses or stimuli. For example, a dichotomous response category like agree and disagree does not allow the recording of a subtle attitude of change. Therefore, a more sensitive measure with numerous categories on a scale should be needed. For example, if you rather asking a question in yes and no format, whether you like a product or you don't like a product, rather asking such question like that, you should ask a question in giving a chance of recording the variance or the variability in the response. For example, if I ask you, do you like a particular product? Or you can ask, I like a particular product. You can give an option like strongly agree, mildly agree, neither agree nor disagree, mildly disagree, and strongly disagree. By doing so, you are able to record the variability of the response or the stimuli, and it gives you the sense of attitude recording of that particular respondent. So therefore, sensitivity is very much essential while constructing a questionnaire. So here we are able to learn how reliability, validity and sensitivity are important while drafting a questionnaire for my research survey.